Whatever we call it, wherever we believe its origins lie, can we all just agree that this dish is the ultimate comfort food? Its warm and spicy flavours just act as a soul-hugging bowl of goodness, and quite frankly, it never gets old. From start to finish, this recipe only takes about 30 to 40 minutes to make, and the best thing that it only requires about 15 minutes of work. The rest of the time you can clean up, set the table, or maybe even better, just simply talk and hang out with your family. There are some crazy ingredients that you probably wouldn't expect in here that really set this recipe apart from the others and give this chili such a unique and complex flavour that has won many awards. All of these things are probably why I like this dish so much, and I know you will too. G'day guys, it's Chris here again, and today I am going to be making some of my famous Chilli Con Carne. Now people come from far and wide to get this stuff. It is amazing, and honestly I just package up in quite little chunks to whack in the freezer, and I'll have it with pork crackers and a bit of sour cream. It's incredibly delicious. There are quite a few things that you would not expect in a Chilli Con Carne. So they bring the flavours, they really match all the flavours up together and really make them join in well, and you wouldn't actually know that they're in the background once you actually taste it. So the first in our secret ingredients is 4 shots of espresso coffee. So that's in our little cup here. It is quite strong stuff, but by the end, trust me, it does not taste like coffee. The other secret ingredient is cocoa powder. So this stuff, it makes it a whole new level. It's really amazing to bring all those flavours together, and we'll add a little bit of stevia in there as well, just to give it a tiny little bit of sweetness to balance the acid of the tomatoes and other stuff. Now before you get your hands dirty, go and click on that like and subscribe button. There are heaps of other recipes that you 100% want to see on this channel that you can go and click through to the actual channel link and have a look through them. They're all awesome low carb based recipes that are going to make you smile all day. So first things first guys, let's get in our onions and our garlic into the pan, get them browning. Then we're going to chuck our mince in there, get that browned off a bit before we start adding in some of the spices to get them all the way through the mince. So let's get this garlic going. Now you guys know that I like quite a bit of garlic, so I'm going to use quite a bit of garlic, but it does cook a bit of the flavour out, so you want to get plenty of that in there. You know, I see recipes calling for 1 clove of garlic, and just 1 clove of garlic is just not enough for any recipe, unless it's a recipe for exactly how to cook 1 clove of garlic. And even in this case, use 2 anyway. Next we're going to put in our onions, so I'm going to dice them up relatively finely. It doesn't have to be super fine, but yeah, make sure they're pieces that you're going to want to see in the final product. Now I should mention, before I've been beginning to peel the garlic and chop up these onions, I have got my pan on a medium-high heat, because we want to get these browned off as quickly as we can, so we can seal those nice juices into the meat and go in our mince and go from there. So I was talking to this guy at work recently, and he was going on about how some people reckon that onions are the only vegetable that can make you cry. And I just thought back to my childhood and when we had potato fights, and he has clearly never been hit in the face with a potato. If anyone ever tells you that they like cutting onions, they are blatantly lying, because it is not fun. I ran out of chewing gum, which normally stops that from happening. Better strike while the pan is hot. We're going to get a bit of Popeye's wife in there, olive oil, and get that heated with the onions. Oh, what a sizzle. Look at that. Living the dream. Well, actually not. The onions are not. They're going into that pan to die. So, see you guys. Alright, so we'll give it a bit of a stir now. This is where I like to add a bit of salt as well. Just helps to kick off that Maillard reaction a little bit more, make the onion a little bit more brown. But keep in mind that you are going to be putting a stock cube in later. Alright, so that should just wilt down a bit, get a little bit brown, and then I'm going to crush some garlic and pop her in. So I made this recipe with one of my mates recently. Great bloke, not the sharpest sort of tool in the shed, but he sort of tended to stir it with his left hand, but I definitely would recommend using a spoon because you're going to burn the hand, as we saw when he did that. So once we've got that, we're going to get our mince in, stir that around and make sure it's broken up as much as you can. You don't want big chunks of mince left in there, so just give it the old pump and reel, pump and wind. Keep moving it because you need them individually minced. Alrighty, so now we've got the onion, garlic and the beef in there. Let's get our tomatoes chopped up, ready for action, and our carrots grated. Now for ages I've been hearing about this LGBT stuff on Facebook and the news and whatnot, and I always thought of that it meant lettuce, ginger, bacon and tomato, but having a conversation with one of my smart friends and he told me that it was actually the G stands for guacamole, so didn't I feel silly with that one. Now with these carrots guys, I honestly don't bother peeling them, I just take the top off. Well, I don't actually take it off, I just leave it on there and I grate down to the top and then throw that out to the chickens. There's a lot of good nutrients inside the skins of these. As long as they're clean, you're going to be alright. So grab our microplane and we'll just start powering away there. So I did go down to Coles to get this carrot, but apparently it's a legal requirement for you to buy mayonnaise and cabbage as well. And they just told me it was Coles law. I'm so sorry for that one, that was bad. Alrighty guys, next, the critical steps we're going to put in. We're going to go through, we're going to put all of our dry ingredients in, so that's going to be our coriander powder, our cumin powder, our ground chili powder. I'm going to be putting some fresh habaneros and a cayenne pepper in there anyway, so we won't need too much of that chili powder, and then we're going to also put in some paprika, some smoked Hungarian paprika. Really gives it a nice flavour as well. Then we're going to put our chocolate powder, cacao powder, cocoa powder, whatever you bloody call it. It's going in there, so let's see what happens. I'll bring the pan over just off the boil real quick onto the wood so I don't get in trouble from the wife, because if I put it on that stuff it's going to burn. Now give it a bit of the method of when I'm breaking up my mince, just the pump and reel. Just imagine you've caught a marlin or something and you've just got to go for gold and just absolutely pump that bad boy. So let's start getting these dry ingredients in here. So I'll put a bit of the old chocolate dust in there. Give it a little bit of a mix. Honestly, I think I'm just going to put them all in and then mix them in afterwards so it's nice and thorough. Okay, so the cumin powder, we're going to want about a teaspoon of this, maybe a teaspoon and a half to 2 teaspoons, depending on how you like it. I do enjoy the cumin, whatever. It's pretty good gear. And here we got our coriander. And about the same amount of that. These two always seem to go really well together, your coriander and your cumin, so get them in there. Bit of ground chili. I'm going to put a little bit in for now, and that's about a teaspoon and a half. I will come back and add a bit more to it later because I have got some cayenne pepper here that's not hot enough, but I imagine with these habs she should be pretty right. So, Hungarian paprika, mild. Let's get some of that in. Plenty of the stuff is delicious. Nice flavour to that one. And then we're going to pop in our stock cube as well. Just crush that up so it's easy to break up. Alright, this one has minimal sugar in it. Alright, going to give that a bit of a stir through there. And then we're going to pop in our tomatoes and our carrots. So now guys, when you microplane the carrots, they do tend to stick together, so try and sort of spread them out as much as you can before you put them in. Alright, these will wilt away. Well, actually you can't really tell they're in there once it's cooked, which is awesome, particularly if you have fussy kids, because they can cause a bit of trouble about vegetables. I don't know why, but you know what, they're getting them anyway. Okay, the tomato can go in, and now the fact that I've taken it off the heat, guys, it's not going to cause any trouble here. It's just easy to get the stuff in on the camera. So let's get them in. I'm going to start chopping these chilies up, then we're going to get a bit of the other stuff in there all together. I won't put the coffee in yet. I'm not going to lie, as soon as you put those spices in, it starts smelling amazing in this kitchen. I'm going to give these a quick rinse because I've spotted a little bit of dirt on these. You wonder how dirt gets on them when they grow on a bush, but look, it happens all the time. Now the only reason I'm not wearing gloves for these is because there's not many of them, and I am going to just be quite careful and not get much juice on my hands. Well, I'm going to try and be careful. I'm just going to leave the seeds in on these ones, guys, and I'm going to cut them into sort of little rounds. That's a lie. I'm going to leave some of the seeds in because I don't want this thing getting out of hand.
Funnily enough, actually, Chook and I were down at the local Indian restaurant recently, and the guy came over and I was like, those bloody triangular pastry parcels with the spicy filling were delicious. And he was like, samosa. And I was like, no mate, I'm pretty full, thanks. I'm going to save some room for my curry. And he never told me what they were, so I still sit in silence and wonder.
Alright, time to put the chilies in. Nothing much to see there, guys. I'm just going to put them in, and then we're going to get the rest of our gear in there. I'm going to wash my hands thoroughly because that is a handful of trouble.
We are going to put in our paste alla di tomato. Get that in there, a bit of coffee, the espresso in there, and then some passata, which basically gives it a bit of moisture. Now, guys, I've learnt that the passata sticks to the bottle quite well, so get some water in there, shake it up. It's only going to reduce in steam anyway, so you might as well whack it in and get a good covering on top because this stuff likes to splatter as soon as it starts getting onto a bit of a boil there.
Alright, so that's pretty much it for now. I am just going to pop this little thing of stevia. I'm going to put about a teaspoon and a half, 2 teaspoons in there just so it can be cooking with the rest of the stuff so the flavours all meld together. I've just had a taste. She is pretty spicy with those 4 habaneros and the cayenne in there with some of the seeds. So I'm excited to see what it turns out because it's only going to reduce and concentrate those flavours. So I'll tell you when I see you next.
Yummy.
She's looking pretty good. So we made it to the end without burning anything or doing anything that was not to plan for once. So congratulations, pat on the back and on the other shoulder. Alright, so pretty much I've got a bowl of the steaming hot chili here. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to whack the last few bits together and then we're going to taste it. So, of course, some grated tasty cheese on top. It's called tasty because it is. Alright, then we're going to get some of our guacamole, which you can find another recipe. Put that on the sides. Actually, I'm going to use the whole thing because it is delicious. And then sharing spoons, I'm just going to get this sour cream in there as well. Yep, definitely delicious. Now, as I was saying earlier, one of my favourite ways to have this stuff is to get a pork crackle, keeping it low carb, and just go through and get a little bit of everything on there. And sometimes you can even put some sweet chili sauce on a low carb sauce. Amazing. Anyway, let's get stuck into it and see how we go. That is amazing. I'm extremely happy with that. Those habaneros have such a great flavour. It's actually changed from more of a fruity flavour in this to more of an earthy flavour, and I think that is partly the chocolate and the coffee bringing it all together. But I'm extremely happy with that. I normally have it in probably about a quarter of this size in a little container. Take it for lunch, heat it up in the microwave, and you're good to go. These are awesome with it. Adds that crunch that normally you might have, you know, nacho or chili con carne with nachos underneath. These are just as bloody good, and you won't regret having them. So guys, make sure you go and hit that like and subscribe button. I love doing the videos, so keep me making them by doing that. And if you've got any suggestions, whack them down in the comments, and I will see you in the next one.